Good afternoon. I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave.
And in today's live session for you, we are going to be covering the fundamentals of Amazon. Let's pick my words out. And what do we mean by this? It's the fundamentals of an Amazon listing page itself. So for those of you which have been and joined us and you are slightly more experienced with Amazon, what we would suggest is that you still hang around, because sometimes is pointing out the basics is where you can improve. Now, Dave, we mentioned this when we did the fundamentals of an eBay listing a couple of weeks back. Is that we jokingly said, but unfortunately it's true, we cannot tell you of a perfect eBay listing. And what we'll do afterwards, we'll put a link in the top right-hand corner to the previous version, the previous episode for you. But previously, we can't tell you of a perfect eBay listing, but we can tell you and show you at least two very, very good Amazon listings. So that's the topic of today's live mastermind. Now, those of you which have joined us and it's your first time here, welcome aboard. I'm Matt and he's Dave. We do hold these live every single week at 3 p.m. GMT or UK time, and we cover a whole plethora of different topics relating to e-commerce. And today, like I said, the topic is going to be the fundamentals of an Amazon listing. Now, Dave, I want to take us. I'd like to take us in a slightly different direction to start with, and the reason why I feel it's important that we take a slightly different, before we dive in and look at the Amazon listing itself, and we'll share the screen with you in a moment, is that I feel it's really important for us to set the tone. What is Amazon right now? Not only here in the United Kingdom, what it is also in Europe and also over in the United States as well. And maybe a little glance into the future for Amazon too, just to really make the point that perfecting a product detail page is actually very, very important. So the place which I'd like to start with is, Dave, you probably know more about this than myself, from a newsy point of view, from what you do over at Easter Cafe. But Prime, what is Prime, and why would someone be interested in it as a customer, but then also as a seller potentially? We'll get to the seller side on Amazon in a moment. What is Prime, and why is that important on eBay there, Dave? On Amazon, Dave.
So Prime is, the best way to describe Prime is obviously it's Amazon's subscription service. It's their way of tying you into their ecosystem. And by doing that, they do a fantastic job of it. It started out, Prime, as being something where you would pay your annual subscription and you would get the ability to have free next day delivery. That was Prime. And ever since, that was a number of years ago. And ever since then, Prime has been bulked out over and over again. There's been more value added, and it has become a monster of a thing. And for those like myself and Matt as well, who are Prime members, it becomes no-brainer value purely because Amazon do such a great job of making it easy for you to utilize all of the services that they offer. And
I think, Dave, that is perfect time for me to jump in and just hijack all of these services which Amazon offer. And what does it mean to me, as a Prime customer? Well, number one is that I'm 90 quid or some lighter. But on the flip side is that I'm sat here, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, got onto the computer. I could order something in the morning, up to about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I can have it here, whatever I've been and ordered, the same day. That evening, it will be here. Obviously, if it goes past 11 o'clock, and again, we are talking about the United Kingdom here, and I'm in a moderately sized city, and if it's up, I don't order by 11 o'clock, then it will turn up next day. And that's the thing. That's the thing is, me and Dave have said this for a long period of time. It is getting to the stage now where if the order turns up tomorrow, it's late.
Yeah.
In your customers' heads. And unfortunately, those of you who sell on eBay or you're on your own website as well, that is the reality which we're in. Unfortunately, I class all eBay orders as late. eBay for making a sing back, 3-day delivery, get a 3-day guaranteed delivery, And I'm thinking in my head, that's 2.5 days late arriving to me as a consumer. And the reason for that is just purely because Amazon have got warehouses scattered all around the United Kingdom, as they've got in many other countries as well. In the United States, they're all over the shop, in short. And that does mean that here in the United Kingdom, we are spoiled by same or next day delivery. If you're in the United States, then it's next day delivery, potentially maybe 2 days shipping as well. So that is
quite a fun one. A story you talk about the Amazon warehouses. On Friday, as I was leaving Manchester and heading down to Swansea, I got out of the M56 out of Manchester, and right on the left-hand side. What's that?
You've seen the warehouse.
Yes, I was going to say there's a huge Amazon warehouse as you leave Manchester. It's a newish one that's not been there that long. But I know the one in Swansea was one of the originals. And like I said, as I'm pulling into Swansea on the right-hand side, huge Amazon warehouse. And it was so funny to say I left one big city with an Amazon warehouse and arrived in another one with another massive Amazon warehouse. And it's like that is the network of Amazon in play there. It was quite interesting to see. Like physically.
Yeah, they are absolutely huge. And again, I think there's one being built in Bristol if it's not already been built. So anyway, coming back onto the topic, and there are a plethora of other things as well which go along with Prime, like no hassle returns. Dave, I returned.
I know you've had some experience with this recently, yeah.
Oh, unbelievable customer service. And I think I was about 30 quid down all in on £550 worth of a PlayStation. I won't bore you with the story. It was not a good experience. And Sony, thumbs down. They were completely incompetent. But it was just an overwhelming experience because I went from one extreme of such incompetence is the correct word to summarize the Sony PlayStation and their support network compared to Amazon's. It was just that way round. It was just chalk and cheese. So confidence as a buyer is what we're trying to say is extremely high. And there are other things like Amazon Video and other.
I think that's even worth a quick mention, Matt, is, for example, audiobooks. I know you're a big Audible fan, run by Amazon. Kindle, yeah. I'm a big ebook fan. I'm run by Amazon. Amazon Music, again, I get free subscription with Prime. If I'm in the gym, I can just stick Amazon Music on. Don't have to worry about, any of that stuff. And instant video, Lucifer. Matt, I know you're a big fan of Lucifer. That was an Amazon instant video thing. Yeah, so again, it's the whole network of what Amazon now touches. And we're not even spoken about the smart devices with Echo and Alexa and how they then tie into the marketplace. It's a beast. And Prime makes perfect sense.
Okay, so Prime is a paid-for amount. We'll say 90 quid. It obviously varies from country to country, and I don't even know how much I pay. Frankly, I don't care either.
I was going to say, do you know when your annual subscription is due? Me neither. And the thing is, I don't care because I get value from it. So the 70, 90, £100, whatever it is, take it because it would be a loss for me to not have what I have.
Okay, so you've just heard myself and Dave sing the praises of Prime membership from a customer's point of view, in short, and we are both very impressed with it. You're probably a Prime customer of Amazon as well. Now, there's one other topic. There's two more topics which I'd like to talk about, and the first one is FBA. Now, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. Again, apologies if I'm spelling out some of the stuff which you already know. This does have a point to it because it's really important for us to be able to dissect the details of a product detail page. We need to know the basics, and one of those basics is FBA. And this is very, very simple. You have a product, this uses mug, for example, and you can join in with and gain access to those Prime customers, the people like myself and Dave, who will almost demand same-day delivery, or in worst case, and I mean this worst case, next-day delivery on anything which they order on Amazon. Frankly, I do not order anything on Amazon which is not Prime. I tick the box and I ignore everything else. Now, the good news is that you can get your products included in Prime deliveries. And the way that works is a system called Fulfillment by Amazon. Is the short version is that you send your products to an Amazon warehouse, which they decide, and it gets checked in, and a couple of days later is that your products are then available to be purchased from and delivered by Fulfillment by Amazon. Now, Fulfillment by Amazon, you have this one side where you have Prime users who pretty much are more like myself, which exclusively buy Prime items only, or Fulfillment by Amazon items only, which could be directly from Amazon or could be from a third-party seller by yourself. The point which I was making there, that they do charge you for this. It doesn't suit all products. The simplest way we can boil this down to you is if it's about the size of a shoebox and doesn't weigh a ton and isn't too cheap, well, aka you still have some margin in there, then it's probably suitable for FBA. That's the basic summary of FBA. And if you're thinking, I've got quite a few different products like this and that would be fine, then yeah, absolutely, definitely look into Fulfillment by Amazon in more detail. Now, FBA, so that was like the high level overview. This is the reality of what's happening today, is that there are more and more warehouses, Amazon's warehouses or fulfillment networks, fulfillment warehouses popping up all over, not only here in the United Kingdom. Dave, there was an email a couple of days back, which there was 3 more places in the States, with 3 more warehouses in the US.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Can't
Something like that. They're popping up all over the shop. Now, the thing is that also note with the Fulfillment by Amazon is that they are, how do you explain? Amazon was probably not that impressed by the existing courier companies, mentioning no names, Royal Mail, etc., as such, that they have been created their own delivery network, and these guys will deliver 130 plus parcels every single day. And I can assure you that's more than the average courier. So like personal history here, Mr. Parcel Force will turn up and he'll have anywhere between 40 to 80 packages per day. Amazon guy turns up, I always have a chat with him because I'm always curious, like, busy day today, fella? Yeah. Oh, how many packages you got? Something like that. And they'll quite openly tell you, oh, probably 120, 130. Cool, what time do you finish then? And you can very quickly get this information out of them. So excuse me. So that brings us to, that's kind of like a little bit of past and very much present and a little bit of the future. Now, Dave, because my voice is about to go in a moment, can you explain about voice search and Alexa for us?
Absolutely. And I think this is being touted by many as like the future of e-commerce. We saw maybe 7 years ago, maybe 8, the mobile revolution, and now we seem to be on the cusp of a voice revolution and potentially moving away from screens or making screens a secondary experience. And that is where a lot of structured data is now becoming very, 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 very important. We see eBay going down that route, which is a very different topic, but Amazon does structured data very well. The Amazon catalog is very, very good for that reason. One product page, lots of sellers. So when it comes to voice search, Amazon is utilizing Alexa and Alexa skills in order to determine what products it is that people are looking for, and through just a voice command to be able to add them to your Amazon basket. So the importance for Amazon products to have correct data to be exactly, what the product is has never been greater. And I know, and I'm sure if you're live right now, you can let me know in the chat, or if you're watching the recording, let me know in the comment section down below. How many times have you come across a terrible Amazon listing, and most likely for a product that you want to sell? You've got one, you check on Amazon, and the listing's got 2 bullet points, the title's spelt wrong, it's got 1 low-res image, and you're like, And if you're a new seller, you've then got to beg and plead Amazon to trust that you have better data over the seller who's maybe have been doing this for 2 years with a crap listing. So this is where voice is coming in, and why it's never going to be more important than now to have good quality data in your Amazon listings.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dave, thank you for
no worries.
bringing us up to date. I got my voice back. Apologies for that. So those were the three things which I wanted for us to start off with. The first one was Prime. What is Prime and why is it so important to you as a business owner? Okay, so because that goes also, you gain access to these people like myself and Dave, and probably you too, which are Prime customers who basically expect stuff same or next day, and if it's not here, it's late. Okay, we can't stress that enough. And the good news is that you can also leverage Amazon's own fulfillment network, which they are delivering items like either same or next day, and that is using a service called Fulfillment by Amazon. Now, I did see a message by Mike over there in the chat at the moment say, so who's doing FBA? We don't do any yet. Mike, one thing which I just tip for you specifically, remember Amazon FBA doesn't suit every single product. So pick your more frequently purchased products from Amazon and try them out in Fulfillment by Amazon. You don't have to send thousands. You could just send one in and see how it does. I'm sure you're going to send more than that, but that's the reality of FBA. You could just send one item in if you so wished. And then we looked into the future with voice search, and it's really it's kind of a fun one because it does make life an awful lot easier. I know there's a few stories about the Alexa devices making giggling sounds at the moment.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty creepy.
A little bit creepy, etc., etc. But on a serious point, is that me and my wife, we're going to go and get one because we think they're pretty cool. And for me to be able to literally, I walk in here in the office at 4 o'clock in the morning and go, Alexa, and I'm looking at something to buy this. And then, of course, H can come in later as my assistant and then just go, Matt, did you really mean to buy this? Or is that what you wanted? And then refine and then go on and make a purchase. I think there's lots of potential there, to say the least. And I think there will be more of this in the future because it's just easy. It's convenience. And Dave, we've had this conversation many times before. Convenience always wins.
Absolutely.
So with that said, that is like the introduction to the perfect Amazon detail page, because that really does set the tone for what we've got coming in a few seconds time. So with that said, that was too much theory. Well, that was quite a chunk of theory. What I'm now going to do is jump across to my desktop, which I hope that one there is.
Don't you click that big red button at the end?
Yeah, don't press the red button on the bottom. I don't know who did that last time.
Oh dear.
Right, so for those of you which are new to selling on Amazon, what I'll do, I'll just pop the link here in the chat. And again, if you're watching the recorded version, don't panic. You can get hold of this page very, very easily. Just type in bestsellers on Amazon.com or .co.uk. We're using the UK site because me and Dave are based in the United Kingdom. Now, oh, that didn't want to post. Please try again. Right, clarity, isn't it? I'll tell you what, I'll take the okay. Oh, that we want to type anyway. Sorry, apologies. It doesn't look like YouTube wants to allow us to send messages. Anyway, come back and topic. What are we looking at? So to get to this page, just go into Google, type in best-selling products on Amazon, and you'll come to the bestsellers list page like this. Now, from this page, you can find the top 100 or so products for every single category, or the top level categories which are on Amazon. So let's go and choose DIY and tools. You would never guess that I'm a bloke. And let's go into hardware. There we go. So, oh no, let's go even further. Look how far we can go down, Dave.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, adhesives. Who doesn't get excited in the adhesives aisle in B&Q? Anyway, and you can go down further. You can go into contact boxes. Let's go this far. Wow, there you go. You can really drill down. Wow. And these are the best-selling products on Amazon.co.uk. And Dave, you can even go even further as well, so you can go down much further. And these are the bestsellers in epoxies, which is a type of glue, by the way, generally 2-part glue. And we'll scroll down and you'll then see them sorted up to 100 products. So if you're wondering, is it worth me sending an item to Amazon or actually selling my products on Amazon, is that you can go here, you can drill down. We've chosen a really obscure category, apologies, epoxies. And we can then see how it does. Now, what I would say for you is that perhaps you don't sell epoxy, but you sell, I don't know, luggage. There we go. And you sell backpacks at that. You could go in here and look on the bestsellers list and see if you have products which are similar to gain an idea of what the kind of velocity or what kind of items sell on Amazon. Now, before we go any further, I just want to make this point, really big point here, okay, is that we will get to the key, which is vitally important. But the other thing which is vitally important for selling on Amazon, and thus the product details page or the fundamentals of an Amazon listing, is that this isn't a conversation. In fact, let me get this screen off a second. This isn't going to be a conversation like eBay, where it is right now, and we're going to say, like, you need to think about the path of a customer from making a search to move into images, to move into the title and description, and all the things which we covered previously. This is Amazon, and what's the most important factor for Amazon? It's the stars. So let's go back and look at the stars a second. And the reason why the stars are so important is because they are the reviews. And in short, generally speaking, if a product has a decent amount of stars, so even if it's up to 4 stars, but it's got lots of a higher number next to it, so we'll see this Trespass Olbus backpack has got 386 reviews of about 4.3 stars out of 5. Yeah, if that tickled my fancy, then we'd buy it, in short, because we know that generally speaking, it's going to be a good product. Because bad products don't last very long on Amazon at all, because only after a couple of bad reviews, it's pretty much trash. And it's quite, with Dave, we mentioned about this when we were talking about the fundamentals of an eBay listing. We felt really, really sorry for an eBay seller who had had, what was it, 380 sales on an item, and then
had one star
review or rating, and it was like 1. He was like, oh, I felt so sorry for that seller. Now, we're talking about products here, and we've come into a random category. And this is the thing, is that for you to have a look around, and the best place for you to have a look around and see if your products are going to be suitable for Amazon, or especially FBA, etc., etc., is just have a look. The bestsellers list really is like the top 100 products for each of the categories. And you've seen how far we can drill down. We can even go into children's backpacks. Now, personally, I am in the market for a unicorn one, like off Altered Carbon, which had all the drugs in it, because I want a rainbow one on as well. So this is, well, I am being curious here. I'm not seeing one at the moment. Peppa Pig's probably not my style, though. Anyway, coming back onto point, you'll see that these items got lots and lots of reviews. Point being, go and have a look on Amazon on the bestsellers list. See if your products are kicking around. That will give you an idea on how well those items are selling, in short. Now, Dave, I'm going to pick an item at random here. And the reason why I've picked an item at random, and great, is a variation product. Brilliant. Is that, Dave, we need to have a discussion about the key, don't we? The ASIN.
The ASIN, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, unlike eBay, okay, and don't get us wrong, eBay are slowly moving towards a unified catalog, and a EP ID or product ID on eBay will become more and more important. But right now, is important, but not that important compared to Amazon, because on Amazon, you cannot list a product on Amazon for 99.9% of all categories unless you have an ASIN. And you may be wondering, Matt, Dave, what are you talking about, an ASIN? Is this some magical character? Who is it? What is it? In short, an ASIN stands for an Amazon stock inventory number. Okay, and there's one in the title, B01F6XNAVG. Okay, now I've been hovered on the menu, classy. If I go and choose a different product, you'll notice that the ASIN just changed. You'll notice that was a variation of the products which we just had just a few moments ago. I'm going to click on a pair of wellies. There we go. And you'll see that they have a different ASIN, different Amazon stock inventory number. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, like, Dave, I've never heard of a fucking ASIN before. What? Don't panic. It's Amazon's version of a barcode. So if you have a product with an EAN on it, or a UPC, or if you're in Japan, you have a JAN, JAN, is that chances are you can type your EAN in to the Amazon website, and there'll be a product will already exist. Happy days, and then you can just sell it. Now, so this gets us to a really positive point. Selling it on Amazon is really straightforward. You need to know the ASIN, or the unique identifier for it, typically a UPC or an EAN, and quantity, price, and condition, and maybe a note if you want to add it, and you can sell your products on Amazon. It is that simple. Now, that is assuming that the product has already been created on Amazon. Now, Dave, we were going to talk about the fundamentals of an Amazon listing. Now, I do have two of my, and I'm probably Dave's as well, favorite Amazon listings to give you as an example. And the reason why they are favorites, you will find out in just a few seconds' time. Well, actually, you can probably see on the screen here, Amazon's Choice. And by the way, Amazon's Choice is actually pretty good. I did take their recommendation on a few items recently. One of them was actually a phone cover, and actually it was really good. Genuinely impressed by it. So anyway, coming back, the fundamentals of an Amazon listing is the ASIN. That's the #1 key which we need to know about. Everything after the ASIN and the reviews, okay, is pretty much mustard, because the ASIN, without the ASIN, you cannot sell on Amazon. So you, if you sell products which don't have barcodes, or EANs or UPCs for them, then you will need to go to, is it gs1.org.uk?
They are the official gatekeepers of barcodes globally. Yeah, or like I say, if you only want a handful, you can pick some up on eBay.
Yeah.
The unofficial line there, but yeah, the proper way is to go through GS1.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to see if I can bring this one up. It's GS1. There you go. Just so you see the logo up there in the top corner, that's GS1. If you're in the United States, then it will be a gs1.org. If you're in the United Kingdom, it will be gs.org.uk.
Yeah.
50 chance.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it's still loading. Anyway, have a look, in short, and they are the gatekeepers. Now, you don't actually own a barcode, you rent them. And you can rent them in very large quantities, okay? And to be honest, they're relatively inexpensive. However, that said, if you've only got a handful of products, say a dozen products, and that's all you've got because you make them yourself, or it's something which you've worked on and gone on, etc., you can, like Dave said, just buy a couple off eBay. You know, really.
Don't tell GS1 when I said that.
Yeah. Well, GS1 laugh at themselves.
Yeah, we told them face to face.
Yeah, and they know it as well. So it's not even going to that topic. So two big factors, ASIN and reviews, massively important. And we're looking at the bananagrams right now. And there's 1,927 customer reviews about this game. Okay, absolutely brilliant. If you're interested in this word game, you would probably have bought it by now. Okay, that's the start.
It's still #1 in whatever category it's in.
I'm sure it is.
It should be. It must be welded up there.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's go have a look. We were back here on the bestsellers list, weren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So any department, we'll go into toys and games. Toys and games. Oh, a little special note about toys and games when it comes to Amazon is that it is a gated category. And you will need special permission from Amazon to sell in that category, especially they basically closed it down when it comes to September as well, don't they, Dave?
Yeah.
Is it a jigsaw and puzzle?
I don't know.
Educational toys.
It sounds like a board game, isn't it? Really, or like a travel game.
It's a board game. Do you see a board game in it? No.
I don't.
Can we see in which one it? No.
Yeah, can we scroll down? It might tell us which categories it is listed in. Number 5, games accessories.
Games and accessories.
Down, just there we go.
Oh, there you go. It's not #1 anymore. It's been outdone by a double card game Cards Against Humanity. And Orchard Toy, and they're just really good. Those Orchard Toy games. Anyway, don't we go there. Let's think about the Amazon listing. Okay, first thing you will notice, especially comparing this to an eBay listing, is that you've got bullet points at the top, and you can buy very, very easily. You'll also notice that there is no real seller information. I can actually see it. You may have spotted it. It's just hiding down here on the right-hand side. But for all intents and purposes, me as a consumer, I'm normally logged in, and it would be on there. It would say $11.99 plus 3-day delivery, and then it will say want it delivered tomorrow. Order within the next 4 hours and 2 minutes. So what's that? 4 hours, Dave? That's 9 o'clock. Or half past. Is that right? Is it 3 o'clock at the moment? 3?
Yeah, 3 is for 4 hours. That's 7-ish, is it?
Oh, so 7 o'clock tonight. So 7:30.
Yeah.
Tonight, I can order this and it will be with me tomorrow. Absolutely fantastic. And then this isn't like an eBay tomorrow, which will be like 2 days time after today. If I'm really, really lucky, this really will be tomorrow on there. So anyway, coming to the title, you see it's a much shorter title. We've got a great decent number of customer reviews on here. You'll notice that there are third-party sellers, but they're hiding down here in the bottom right-hand corner. When I click or add to basket, it could be directly from Amazon. It could be directly from a third-party seller like yourself who has put the item into fulfillment by Amazon, FBA, like you mentioned earlier. They have been sent one of these bananagrams to an Amazon warehouse, and of course, you can choose your own pricing for those items, etc., etc. But anyway, when I hit the buy button or a customer hits the buy button, it could be an item from Amazon or it could be an item from yourself, for example, if you sent these items in. You'll also notice that there is no perhaps long-winded description here. There are just a couple of bullet points here at the top. There are other items available for what we've got 8 new from £11.80. To be honest, Dave, I rarely go any deeper than this first page. And the reason why I say rarely go deeper than this first page is because, generally speaking, as a ad hoc rule for my personal purchasing, just purchasing on Amazon, is that it's all Prime. If it's not Prime, I'm not buying it. As straightforward as that. There are exceptions. I think a lawnmower blade. There was a hub for a lawnmower as well, which came from a third-party company, which I couldn't find on the website, but they sold it on Amazon. Worked that one out. Hey ho, and it was direct from a third-party merchant. Moving down, you'll see the pricing on there. Excuse me. Bullet points. Bullet points are absolutely key. Now, those of you which remember the chat which we had about the eBay, the perfect eBay listing, or the fundamentals to an eBay listing, bullet points are absolutely key. And I think this is really one thing which Amazon do really, really well, besides the enabling you to put bloody great big pictures on the page, is the bullet points. People are in more and more of a rush, and bullet points, if they are done well, and we are going to see a bloody good example in a minute. I mean, absolutely like 10 out of 10 grade for use of bullet points on Amazon in a moment, although these are A+ quality bullet points. So let's pause for a moment and read these out. So Dave, would you like to do the honors on these, please, sir?
Sure thing. So we have fast, fun-filled educational word game that requires no pencil, paper, or board. Perfect for traveling or at home, Bananagrams is the grab-and-go game for the whole family. Get ready, shout, split, and race to create your individual word grid. Interactive and exciting language game. Can you become the top banana? 2 to 6 players. You are muted.
Just unmuted myself because I'm trying to chat to Mike very quickly in the background of the chat. So Mike and Tink and Stink, we will get back to you in a moment. So the bullet points, you can speed read them. They are they've actually changed them on there.
And also, I would say the title wasn't as good as it used to be. You know, there's still a few things that travel game, board game. There's a few keywords missing from the main title there.
Yeah, obviously, Amazon has been tweaking this item themselves, but come up.
Well, I think one thing to point out there, Matt, is features and benefits.
Yes, absolutely. that's the thing, is that we're talking about benefits here, and there is a difference. A feature is that I'm drinking from a coffee mug and it keeps my hot coffee warm for longer than no mug. You know, or a feature is that it's 10 centimeters by 12 by 14. That is a feature, not a benefit. The mug means that you can drink hot drinks and carry them around with you. That is definitely a benefit. There's a difference between features and benefits. And if you look, if we read the first one there, fast, fun-filled, educational word game that requires no pencil, paper, or board. That's in the benefit territory, isn't it? Who wants to be like, you're looking at it and you're thinking Scrabble, and no, you don't have to write stuff down and things like that. There's no board required. You can play it anywhere. And moving on down, Dave. Excuse me, I got a tickly throat today. We see frequently bought together. You have zero impact on those. Okay. Customers who also bought this item bought. Okay. Again, Amazon generates this section dynamically, as in that they know what sells when or what does and doesn't sell, as the case may be, and they will populate this section themselves. And then we'll scroll down. There's a ask questions section. There are some technical details, and there's the rank and things like that. Oh, Dave, there's the ASIN, which is a bit of a weird one in there, and it looks more like.
We've said this before about this. They usually start with a B, don't they? But the Bananagrams one never did.
Yeah, it looks like a UPC, to be honest, over there. First available Jan 2008, so it's a very old item, which has been on Amazon.
Probably why. Yeah, might have been before they even had ASINs.
Exactly. Well, anyway, moving on. There is the description. That is it. If you think about an eBay listing for a moment, it's like it can be very long, can be tedious. In some examples, could be classed as horrific. You know the ones I'm talking about, the big bright red center text and stuff like that. No, product descriptions on Amazon are, for all intents and purposes, plain text. There are a few tags which you can add, like bold, maybe some of your own bullet points in there, but you are very limited on what you can write in the product description. Now, there is a caveat to that. You can hand over a chunk of cash to Amazon, and they will allow you to, I think it's about 100 quid or so, create full HTML descriptions with images and stuff in it as well. There's also another side to that, which is that you can also become a vendor on Amazon, which is a thread which I don't want to go down right now. And you can, in fact, oh, look, they're from the manufacturer. You can see there's a nice HTML description. And again, someone would have paid for that, or the vendor, as in Bananagrams, whoever makes them, may have joined up on Amazon and created that themselves. But normally, as a third-party merchant, you're only able to either add a plain text description or sell alongside the other sellers on Amazon. I think that's a big point which I missed here, Dave, or maybe glazed over. On eBay, for all intents and purposes, every single item which you list is individual. There is a caveat to that, and that will change now over time when the eBay catalog gets properly rolled out over the next year or two. Yep. But for all intents and purposes, when it comes to Amazon, there should only be one product page or one ASIN per product. So if you've also got a Bananagram, unlike eBay, where you just go on in there and list another listing for another Bananagram game, and there might be, well, Dave, I think the best example was the iPhone, whatever it was. There was like 10,000 iPhones on eBay. That's not the case with Amazon. There should only be one listing per product. Okay, so there is only one Bananagrams word game, which is exactly this product on Amazon, and then all sellers sell against that ASIN. Okay, and then scrolling down, we got to the description. They have been added to that on there. Sponsored products, that will be a point in a few moments' time. There's a Q&A section, and then there are the reviews. Just on my point in here, personal hate about Amazon is that I personally reckon they should get remove all non-verified purchase reviews. from a personal point of view. And I also, again, just from a customer's point of view, I do like to come in here and then filter by most recent as well, because I have discovered a few products which have been perhaps quite good in the past and the quality's been dropped off. Okay. I think I had an issue a while ago. Well, I say a while ago, I want to say 4 years ago now, because when I lived in my previous house where there was a set of board markers and somebody had listed alongside and they were completely different to what I
remember that,
yeah, bought on the page. I think I wrote a review on it, reminding people to be wary of it. Amazon got on board as well and resolved the issue and kicked the seller off. So that was happy days. Anyway, coming back to my point. So we've spoken about, and quick to summarize, Prime. Massive importance, and now you can probably understand why. Prime is absolutely key, because basically if there's an item which is being sold by a third-party merchant which is not in FBA or in fulfillment by Amazon, or there is an item which is in FBA, whether it's Amazon themselves or it's a third-party merchant's product which has been sent to a warehouse, 99% of the time FBA will win. Okay, will win the buy box. And that's the thing about Amazon. The perfect page is the one where you are in the buy box. Okay, Amazon will rotate the buy box between excuse me, third-party merchants which have got items in FBA and share the sales alongside themselves. That they will do that. But for if you've just got an item which is in FBA and an item which is in non-FBA, basically the non-FBA items just don't sell. Okay, because people just add to basket, they don't search on the other sellers, and they just carry on through. And then voice search and Alexa. Again, that was us just looking forwards for a few moments. That is going to become more and more of an impact in the future, because it's just so easy. Because I could just say, Alexa, can you buy that Bananagrams word game or game? Don't have to include word game, and then just Alexa buy Bananagrams, for example. And obviously we need to verify the purchase before it gets sent out, etc., etc. But it could be as simple as that. And as time becomes tighter and tighter, and our attention spans get less and less and less, voice definitely has got some benefits to it. So yeah, I want to bring us back now. The fundamentals of an Amazon listing. The key is the ASIN, which this one's a little bit odd. I want to go and choose something else just to, yeah, there's a better example. Typically they start with a B. Okay, that's typically what an ASIN looks like. It begins B0 something or other. Okay, it's a couple of digits long. Then we spoke about reviews, and you'll notice that I'm not mentioning about images, descriptions, titles, and things like that, because what an Amazon listing really boils down to is reviews, because reviews really matter. When you go off and do your own research into the bestsellers on Amazon, one thing you will find is that all the items which are in the top 100 for even the subcategories or the subcategories is that they will have a very high number of reviews, and typically quite good reviews as well. Say typically, not every product is perfect, but that we are looking at the basics of the fundamentals of an Amazon listing: a good product image, good title, and reviews. Reviews really matter when it comes to products on Amazon, especially. And Dave, I want to go off on a slightly little side tangent here into white label products. Now, there has been a big push over the past couple of years. Some people have done it tactfully, some people have done it not particularly well, of white label products being sold on Amazon. You create an idea for a product and you promote it on Amazon, you foster the reviews, and you really do just focus on that one product and then go off and look into other products. Now, that's an area which we're not going to discuss. We can point you in the right direction for a company, well, a blog, which does cover this very well, and they come recommended by both myself and Dave. Now, Dave, what are they called? Not Jungle Sticks. They're Amazon.
Oh, what? Jungle Scout?
Jungle Scout. Thank you. Jungle Scout. I'll get their.
Yeah, Greg. We actually had him on a podcast on the UE channel.
Podcast a while back, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's on the UnderstandingE site. Go and have a look at Jungle Scout and then go into their blog and then go and have a look through. It's all free. Okay, but doesn't point me on stress. To read their blog is free, and there is some fantastic case studies, and it's just been absolutely brilliant. Some of their older stuff is probably the better stuff, but you won't have to pay $1,000 to find out what you can find publicly. Okay, so yeah, junglescout.com. Go and have a look at that. Dave, we will get into the point. Reviews, very, very important. Bullet points, absolutely important. Now, we did mention just a few minutes ago about one of the best examples of bullet points going.
Yeah.
And that does really lead us in really nicely into what we were discussing there about Jungle Scout. And the thing about Jungle Scout is that they did a he led, so the founder of Jungle Scout led by example and researched a niche for them to look into, and worked up to even went to China to source the products and things like that as well. The short version is that he created this listing here, and you want to view it on the Amazon.com site, by the way, and just search for Jungle Stix, STIX, and you'll find this listing. And all proceeds have gone to charity, etc., etc. And you will see this has got fantastic reviews. And anyway, Jeff goes through the whole process to how he got to this listing. And one of the biggest things, besides finding the area or the product to get into, which were these great big, you can see the size of the sticks here and here on the image, which by the way,
he's never been near that stick in his life.
Yeah, he's never been near that stick, just photoshopped in. Anyway, one of the big things was around the use of the bullet points, and this is the best example of bullet points which we can give you for.
It's the way that they use capitalization as titles. It just works so well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to read this bottom one here as being a parent. Okay, kids safe. Semi-pointed tips ensure that you can pierce any food that needs roasting while knowing that your kids are safe from sharp objects. Pretty cool. The last one is a bit of a joke, really, isn't it? Because the 100% money back guarantee is that if your item is an FBA anyway, which all those items were, is that the guys over at Jungle Scout that just didn't. They sent it from the.
They never actually saw the finished product. I don't believe. When I was chatting to Greg, they went straight to the warehouse, and he never actually saw the finished product.
Never saw them.
No.
And that last one is a joke, and the reason why it's a joke is because you get that anyway as an Amazon customer. So you were earlier, we were discussing like that experience with Sony and Amazon, and one of them was incompetent, the other one was outstanding. Yeah, absolutely. You do have a 100% money back guarantee on them. So with that said, let's move across to some of your chat, which has been going on here in the background. So this is the chat which has been going on in the live version. Of course, if you remember, if you do have any questions or comments about anything which we've been and covered, please remember you can either ask in the comment section underneath this video, or you can visit myself, Matt and Dave, over on UnderstandingE.com. Now, with that said, Mike was having
a bit of trouble with Royal Mail.
Royal Mail, that's
Mike and Maria as well.
Not fun at all.
Mother's Day gifts that were sent out on the 1st of March still not arrived under Royal Mail 48. Yes, that's coming up to 13 days today since that. So yeah, that's not great. Maria even said, I'm going to IRX and want to speak to Royal Mail as their service is shocking lately. Maria said, we send items tracked and Royal Mail failed to track them. When you call to obtain an update, they can't offer any more info. Give us a date and say, if it hasn't been delivered by this date, phone back. That was always a thing with certain Royal Mail things. It'd be like, they would give themselves up to 15 days, I think, to deliver it. And it's like, so if it wasn't past the 15 days, there's nothing you could really do. They wouldn't take it any further.
Yeah, basically our heart goes out to you and anybody who is having an issue with Royal Mail. And the bit which always sticks me about Royal Mail is that correction you made. I paid you to lose the item for 15 days, and you won't give me the money back because I paid you to lose it for 15 days. And I'm a really pissed off customer. That bit does drive me nuts. So yeah, Mike, we do feel your pain. I'm sure things will change one way or another on there. As far as the chat on there, how much for that HTML listing? It's about £100. I think in fact it's even more than that. I think it's about £130, something like that. Do go and research that, by the way, Nick. And it is a process which you can go through with Amazon directly. Hannah says, I have extended brand content, which is the HTML section for free. Amazon, being an Amazon registered brand owner, look up brand registry. So Hannah, big tip there for Nick to go and look on there. But then remember, you can't do that on products which you are not the brand for. So obviously Hannah's worked out that having your own brand and also having that brand registered on Amazon is definitely a competitive advantage. Okay. And as such, again,
2018, the year of private label.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, where's their description, Dave? Oh, there's the description, include a couple of bullet points.
Yeah, which is pretty much copy the bullet points.
we copied the bullet points for it. Now, let me just move across to let's get this back onto the main screen. Let's go. Oh, don't hit stop broadcast. Don't want to do that one again. So let me just look at my notes here. The key really is the ASIN. Remember, the ASIN is the Amazon stock inventory number. If you can already find your products on Amazon, happy days. It's the key. The ASIN, the price, the quantity, the condition, and maybe a note if you want to include it. Selling on Amazon is very, very easy. Also, comparing eBay to Amazon is that eBay, you basically pay per listing. Even if you have a shop and you get X listings included, you are still paying per listing, whereas Amazon, it's 30 quid, approximately $50, whatever it is in the US, don't know the price for not outside the UK, but in the UK, it's 30 quid, and you can list as many products as you dare. In short, reviews is the biggie when it comes to Amazon. I can't stress this enough. Products with reviews basically get sales. Products with no reviews or very small don't, especially bad reviews at that. Okay, that's why it was the fundamentals of an eBay listing. We are saying the ASIN is the fundamental key. That is the enabler for you to sell the item on Amazon, assuming they're already there. And don't panic. You can create items on Amazon if they don't already exist in their catalog. That is a topic for another day. But reviews, they are just so important for when it comes to Amazon, because even though I'm never going to meet the 164 people who have bought honey-made graham crackers in fresh stacks, I'm never going to meet those 164 people ever. And if I did walk past them on the street, I didn't know that they left a 4-star review on Amazon for a product. However, what I do see is the stars, and that's exactly what your customers see, is stars for products. Moving on, we spoke about FBA. That is another big thing. You were not talking about a title, an image, and a description yet, are we? We're talking about a key so you can sell it in the first place. Reviews, fulfillment by Amazon, because basically if it's not in fulfillment by Amazon, the chances of it selling are much, much less, in short. And by the way, we are using generalizations here, but they work pretty much well for generalizations for as far as Amazon goes and selling products on there. Now, other attributes we spoke about price. One we didn't really touch. Okay, price is important on Amazon. All I'm going to say on that topic is that if you're competitive, you will do fine. And the reason why I'll say if you're competitive is because of the unified catalog. So there is, remember, the bananagrams. There is only one listing for that bananagrams product. Thus, it's very easy for you to work out whether you're being competitive on price or not for the items. Titles, they are always to the point. I'm reading one down here. Nasco honey-made graham crackers. That's the title of the item. There is no free shipping. There is no new or other salesy information or condition-related information in the title. It is just the title of the product, like we saw Bananagram's word game earlier, or Cards Against Humanity UK edition. That's the title. It's not new. It's not free shipping, things like that. You're not allowed to include those extra things in the title. Just has to be about the product themselves. We then we touched on images, assuming that you're going to put lots of great quality images in a listing. Hopefully the product you're selling already has those details in there. No brainer. Bullet points, so important. Nobody scrolls down to read the description on Amazon. Okay, most of the buying decisions are made at the top of the page before the customers even scroll further down. And the reason why they're able to do that is because the use of the bullet points. You are able to get a good idea that Cards Against Humanity is a party game for horrible people.
I can confirm, and it's brilliant.
Adapted from the US edition to suit your outmoded culture. Anyway, bullet points, they're they allow customers to make an informed decision on whether that product's the right one for them or not, as the case may be, very quickly. To be honest, eBay needs bullet points. Now, we also mentioned the description. That is much further down the page. You really do have to scroll for it. And you think about the space which is allotted for a description compared to the space which is allotted for customer reviews, which is very long. That kind of like highlights our point here about reviews. They are very important. Now, there is one other topic which I only just quickly touched upon, and I want to make a point of this. So what I'd like to do is just nip back to the screen and share this with you because it is really important. So Dave, what I'm going to do is do a real life search here. Google Pixel case, which is... I bought case a couple of days ago. Google Pixel 2 case. I can type. Here we go. So this is me as a customer, literally as I did only 2 days ago. No, yeah, 2 days ago. Because it arrived yesterday. For a case for a phone which I bought. And you'll notice that these top 3 items have sponsored next to them. Okay. So just like on eBay, where you can pay for sponsored, basically get your items higher up in the search. Exactly the same on Amazon. You can pay Amazon. I think it's pay-per-click on Amazon to get your items at the top and to in front of more people. Okay, so a normal Amazon search, an item like that wouldn't have lasted very long because it's got 8 not very good reviews on there, and that one's done okay, and that one's done okay. Let's see, that's got 5 stars.
That's 30 quid for a phone case, though.
Well, it's all in proportion. We spent 600 quid on a phone, and 30 quid's cheap.
You can't afford to spend 30 quid on a phone case. So, that was the one which I bought. That's the one. That's the one I've got from a normal phone.
Yeah, that's the one which I bought because it was Amazon's choice, and I looked at that and I thought, actually, it's pretty cool. And because I got the white one, I didn't mind. I quite like the idea of it showing the color on the back.
Yeah.
So that's the one which I went for. But a point which I wanted to make here, I did look at the sponsored results, and I didn't like any of the options which I saw. And on that point, just be aware that you can sponsor. You can get your items, especially those of your brand owner for. You can promote them. And if we scroll down, this is, again, look at that nice big description there. Sponsored products related to this item. Okay, those are all the items which are being promoted by sellers of their own item. Okay, so that is one area just I wanted just to very quickly touch upon because it does fall into the fundamentals of an Amazon listing, because the promotion of the listing is absolutely key. And the reason why it is absolutely key is because reviews, the second most important fundamental of an Amazon listing, besides the ASIN, to be able to identify it in the first place, is nothing else like you normally get with an eBay listing. We're just going straight in and saying reviews. They are the most important fundamental thing for an Amazon listing, because if you've got good reviews, the product sells. It gives me confidence as a buyer, it gives you confidence as a buyer, and will give your future customers or potential customers confidence to make that buying decision.
We have a quick question from Mike, which I think is quite a good one. Mike said, if you use the same bullet points and description on a new Amazon listing as the ones you have on your own website, is that bad for your website's Google ranking?
To be
because
honest,
of duplicate content, I imagine.
Right. So
I don't think it would. You
know. Right.
I don't know.
The definite right for the one nice answer. Well, the answer which we can tell you is that we don't know. The one thing which I would say is that if you've got really good bullet points on your Amazon listing and you're using those really good bullet points on your website, I don't see that as an issue. If anything, that's happy days because you're going to increase your chance of making the sale on your own website. The reality is that Google probably trusts Amazon more than you and your site. It's reality, unless it's been around for a period of time. Nick, to be honest, I wouldn't sweat it in a great degree. If you can, tweak them a little bit. But I wouldn't lose sleep over it. What the bit which I would lose sleep over is not having great bullet points in the first place. And remember, those jungle sticks and the bananagrams game are two fantastic, like A+ examples of bullet points being used well because they focus upon features and benefits, the benefits of using the product. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't sweat it, to be honest, Nick. Just a quick look on there. Mike says, how do sponsored products work if you are one of many of products of the ASIN? Yes, you do. Okay. And Hannah just been put the comment in there as well. So yes, in short, you're sponsoring the product as you as the seller of the product. So when it clicks through, you can see the person who has been sponsoring the product. Let me just quickly. Oh, there's one comment which I did miss out. And again, this is why I wrote some notes beforehand. Those of you which are looking to use FBA in Europe, and maybe you're based in the United Kingdom, or you are based in Europe and you want to use FBA in the United Kingdom, just be aware the EU, or was it
EFN, European Fulfillment Network,
is really expensive. Go very, very careful with that. Okay, make sure you know your pricing on the European Fulfillment Network. It sounds like a good idea. It is a good idea, but it's bloody expensive. Just be aware of that. Okay, and I think I've covered all my comments on here. I just can't hammer home the second most important thing about an Amazon listing is not the title, not the images, not the description, not the bullet points, not the price, not that it's in fulfillment by Amazon. It is reviews. They are so important on Amazon because they do swear. And that prime example, which we had a few moments ago, typed in, that's what I did. I typed in
that's the exact same what I would do.
Pixel 2 case for shite. Oh, Amazon's choice. Bought. That is exactly what happened. It's the top products in the result, even though there's free cheaters on the top. Which most people wouldn't know, you know. The average user would go, oh,
so I agree with Nick. Nick made the comment saying, am I the only one who looks right past sponsored listings on both Amazon and eBay? No, I do as well. If it says sponsored, I just know they're paid to be there, so I don't even look at them. But that's just me.
Yeah, and then we're a more educated consumer. Yeah. That's the difference, okay? And yeah, that's where it is. So anyway, coming back onto the topic, to quickly summarize. ASIN is the key. Next most important thing as far as an Amazon fundamental of a product listing goes is the reviews and the review count. So quality reviews on there gives me and you confidence in whether the product's the right one for them, or you or me, or not, as the case may be. Everything beyond there is all pretty straightforward, although there is a special note around things like fulfillment by Amazon and bullet points. Okay, remember, bullet points, features and benefits. There is a difference between a feature, aka the dimensions of this little remote control, compared to means I can sit here and turn the blinds up and down. That is definitely, that's the benefit. I can press the button, you know, not that it's that big. Okay, think about how it's going to help your customers. And by the way, that also works in reverse. Those of you which are looking to sell on your own website, sell on eBay, put yourself in the shoes of the customer and focus on how that product would help that person. and then put it down into text. Ideally, 5 bullet points. And then anything more than 5 bullet points, put in the main description. Because if they've read the 5 bullet points and have got sold on it that far, they will hunt for a description afterwards. Brilliant. So, Dave, it's time for us to wrap up. I'd like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to watch this live episode. Remember, we do hold these masterminds every single week, same time, Tuesday, 3 p.m. GMT. Dave, have I missed anything from what we've been
no,
so far?
I don't think so. We've covered Amazon pretty well there. To give you guys a heads up, next week I'm not here, but Matt is going to give you the lowdown on scraping. That's what's coming up next week.
Apologies, I got a sore throat. Scraping. So let me set the scene for this one. Maybe you have a competitor that you would like to keep an eye on their pricing. And they've got, or perhaps you have a supplier who is technically incompetent, but they have a website, and you would like a way of getting updated, maybe stock information, or real world example. I used to work for a fashion company in Manchester, and I won't mention the shoe manufacturer. But they were given a login access to a back-end system for this shoe manufacturer, and somebody mentioned no names, Matt, wrote this special script which would go in every single day and get all the latest stock pricing information off there. And of course, that would then get fed into their e-commerce software and then update the listings on both on eBay, on Amazon, on their website, and multiple eBay IDs as well. And we also borrowed all their images, description, and things like that to give them like a massive head start. It was brilliant. I pretty much had it done in the same day, and then went off to get titles done and things like that, and images downloaded. And it was at the time, it was just all straightforward. What then happened is the shoe manufacturer came to the offices and saw what had been done and absolutely freaked. I'm impressed by what had been done, but from a serious point of view, what that company was able to do was to go from literally having an idea and just some login details from a back end of a site to having all the products information available to them to then get those items out and being sold. And of course, everything was worked out afterwards. They were just a little bit mortified that you could get so much information from their back end, which it was there. They just wouldn't, they were unable to give provide a CSV file of price updates or stock levels or things like that. This is where scraping comes in very, very handy. I'll talk about a project which I'm working on and have been working on to give you a real world example. I'll try and keep us this next week's episode as practical, real life example based as possible, if that makes sense. And I won't do any of the nerdy. I'll mention tools which you can use, but I can assure you the end of the conversation will be post a job like this on upwork.com and get someone else to do it for you. And then I'll tell you it costs about $100, or those of you which are interested in the technical side, I will give you a link to a course on Udemy for $24.99, which is fantastic. So it depends whether you want to spend less money and do it yourself and maybe struggle a bit, but have to go for the fun of doing it yourself, or just pay someone else to do it. And by the way, $150 seems to be the ongoing rate for spiders. And you'll find out what spiders are very, very shortly. So, Dave, that's next week.
That's next week. I'll leave you all in Matt's capable hands.
Brilliant. So on that note, if you've enjoyed today's mastermind, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about what we've been and covered in today's episode, you can either get in touch in the comments section underneath this video. You can find us on UnderstandingE.com, or Dave's been and popped the link to the Facebook group in the video description below. Just click on show more and then click across and click join in, and you join in with the chat afterwards. So on that note, from myself, Matt.
And from me, Dave.
Cheerios.
See you soon.
Bye-byes. Bye-byes.